Hey there, Heather. Ho there. It's Jeff Cutter down welcome you to yet another Stone Cold Hockey game. We are doing the 64-65 season, of course, trying to get the Leafs to 4-peat. Well, in real life, they won 62, 63, 64, but didn't win 65. But we were trying to see if the Leafs can win their fourth straight. It's a tight race between them and Detroit for tops in the NHL, with Montreal at 29 points. Chicago, Rangers, and Boston are fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot because it was the top four out of six. And you'll notice a lot of ties between teams, except for the Leafs, only two ties. Reason being is that regular season overtime was not adopted between 1942 and 1983. So you'll see a lot of ties. For the Leafs, the good news is that Ron Ellis still leads the goal chase at 17 goals. Assist-wise, Norm Ullman has 18 to lead that. Mahovlich is sixth. Points-wise, Ullman number one, Ellis number seven. Penalty minutes is where we lead at number one. Comfortably the best goalie, then Roger Crozier, then Sawchuk and Bauer. Standings wise, yeah, we played 26 games, the most of the team. Our points percentage is 61%. We have scored the most goals, tied with Detroit, but we've in the second fewest goals. Pretty good at home, but on the road we're just disastrous. Our team, Sawchuk 8-6-1, Bauer 7-3-1. Ron Ellis 23 points, Dave Keon and Andy Bathgate both with 20, so we've done pretty good for ourselves. Pete Stamkowski has only scored one goal. We've had 8, 12, 15 different Leafs scoring a point, a goal. So look at it, the schedule and all that. We were on a 4-game winless streak, and now we've won 3 in a row. So I think we're happy. Highlights wise, our best win 8-2 against the Rangers, and our biggest loss was 4-0 against the Rangers. Detroit has not lost by 3 goals to anybody. Provo, Gilbert, Ellis, and Murphy with hat tricks. Our game against the Leafs when we were down 5-1 in October is basically the moment. Yeah, the Leafs were up. We were down 5-2 after the second, and then 4 straight goals, both Horford, Ellis, Pappen, and Ellis. Chicago's 7-4 win over Montreal, and Detroit's 4-4 tied against the Rangers, the 3 best. So we've done this week. 14, 15, 16th we are off. So no game on the 16th. Boston, Chicago. Saw a dreadful 1-1 tie. Johnston and Hall. Bill Hay for Chicago. Johnny the Chief Busick for Boston. Detroit Rangers saw Rangers tied Detroit. Crozier and Plant with the points. Detroit was up 2-0 in goals by McGregor and Delfacchio. But then in the third period, Hatfield and Camille the Eel Henry scored. Tied at 2. Toronto, Montreal, we kind of figured because Toronto, Montreal were the only original 6 teams not to play. Detroit shut out Boston 3-0 as Crozier takes down Norris. Goals by Lowell McDonald, Larry Jeffrey, and Norm Ullman put the goals on Boston. We head to Montreal, the Belle Provence, and they have said that it will be Bauer and Hodge going toe to toe. The Leafs. We have Sajak and Bauer in the net. Frank Mahovlich, the Big M. Ron Ellis, number 6 in your programs. Well, his number 6 retired by the Leafs. Well, no, unretired. Well, Ace Bailey were number 6, and then Ron Ellis got number 6. Davey Keon, number 14 in the programs. Bob Pulford, future GM for the Blackhawks. Red Kelly, 8 Stanley Cups, the most by any player not associated with the Montreal Canadiens. Andy Bathgate, former Ranger icon. Ron Stewart, Ranger, then Leaf, then Ranger. George Armstrong, George the Chief Armstrong, right wing, the captain. Tim Horton from Tim Hortons Donuts. Jim Papen, who would do better for the Blackhawks 6 years later. Don McKinney, Ranger to Leaf. Kent Douglas, who would be better off as a Golden Seal. Penny Stemkowski, the Polish Rifle. Eddie the Entertainer Shack. Carl Brewer, the Ageless One. Alan Stanley at Ageless One. Dickie Moore, former half. Brett Selby, the future Calder Trophy winner. Billy Harris, future Islander icon. And Bob Bond, who scored that famous goal Game 7 of the 1964. Game 6, of the 64 finals. Montreal has Claude Provost, Ralph Backstrom, the guy who Montreal traded away to make sure that they get the number 1 draft pick from Oakland to draft Guy Lafleur. Henri Pocket Rocket Richard, Claude LaRose, Jean Beliveau, Davey Ballon, Fleeceman, Johan Ferguson, Bobby Russo, Gilles Tremblay, J.G. Chabot, Yvan Cournoyer, the Roadrunner, Jacques Laperriere, great defenseman and head coach, J.C. Tremblay, better known for being with the Quebec Nordiques, Jamie Roberts, not the tennis guy, Leon Rochefort, Ted Harris, Brett Berenson, who would be better off as a Blue years later. Terry Harper, Noel Picard, who also was a Blue. Keith McCreary, Gary Peters, Byron Watson, Bill Heck, and Andre Boudreau. So 12 minutes, part 2. 2 minutes. Rocket, Picard, and Rousseau. 4 minutes. Talbot, part 2 minutes. Chance et le but! Avantage numérique. David Keogh, numéro 12 de la saison, 6 par Mohavalic et Brewer. 1 minute for 2. 2 minutes de Horton. Montréal Le Tech c'est 5. Alors, 6. Provo, Overton de la bande. Pas de but de Baliveau. 1 minute. Et Mohamed Rat de Hodge. Pénalité Toronto pour retaliation. Ron Stewart, 2 minutes. Unreal de Toronto 1. Après une période. Richard Bout de 3 minutes 8 secondes. Kion à 8 minutes 38. Et La Rose 19 minutes 8 secondes. 6 minutes de la deuxième période. Maintenant, Mohamed Rat de Hodge. Chance de Papan. Rat de Hodge. 6 minutes. Tir de Mohavalic. Non. 2 minutes. Action. Pas de but de Cornwall 3. Toronto 1. Après 2 périodes. Roberts à 5 minutes 7 secondes. 10 minutes partout. Chance. Rat de Bauer à Provo. 2 minutes. Catherine, 4 minutes partout. 2 minutes. Defense Eric, Belleville, non. Talbot, non. 2 minutes. Pardon. 5 minutes. Agitator. Pénalité à Montréal de retaliation. C'est Harry, 2 minutes. Papine. Mais c'est fini. Montréal gagné 4-2. Le but de Toronto, Keon 2e et Papin 4e. Montréal, le but, Richard 10e, Loro 6e, Roberts 4e et Backstrom 13e. 4 buts d'avantage numérique de le match. 4-2 Montréal gagné. So that's not good news for Toronto. They couldn't win in Montreal. Friday, no game. Saturday, they'll host the Rangers. Chicago, Montreal. Montreal wins a narrow one, 4-3, as Borsley beat the Shorty. Montreal was up 4-0 and goals by John E. Talbot, J.C. Tremblay, Davey Bellon, and David Ballon. But Chicago struck for 3 goals. Stan Mikita, Phil Esposito, and Kenny Warham. But TLTL, too little, too late. We host the Rangers, and surprisingly, Bauer's back in the net against Jacques Plante, the former Montreal mainstay. So the Rangers, who have they have? They have Rod Gilbert, Gentleman John Gilbert, who had spinal surgery because of him skating over and tripping over an ice cream container in Guelph when he played junior. Camille the Eel Henry, Donnie Marshall, Vic Hadfield, striking left winger who would be hated in Leafland 6 years later for throwing Bernie Prawn's mask into the stands. Bob Nevin is a right winger. So Bob Nevin, former Leaf, Earl Inglefield, John Rattel, Bill Goyette, Lou Ngati, Rod Seeley, Dick Duff, the former Leaf and Hab, Rod Sealing, Kitchener, Harry Howell, who played over 1,000 games for the Rangers before going to the expansion draft, Arnie Brown, Wayne Hillman, Jim Michael, Jim Nielsen, Larry Cahan, Don Johns, Fontaine, Marcel, and Dave Richardson. Here we go. Leafs back at home. 3 minutes later. Penalty to the Leafs. It's Douglas for the hit. Rangers. Hadfield. No. Chance for the Rangers. Goyette. Oh, Goyette had a chance and he missed. 6 minutes later. Action by the Rangers. And Gotti. No. No chance for the Rangers. Angerfield. No. Another chance by the Eel. No. Another chance. Donnie Marshall. No. Donnie Marshall. And Rangers with a penalty. Artie Brown for 2 minutes. I will not. Leaves on the power play. Bathgate. No. One minute. And ooh, Rod Steely. He's rattled. Is that gonna help? Well, the Rangers get penalized. Arnie Brown for another 2 minutes. Tim Horton, no. There's always time for Tim Horton. Rattled, agitated, and a chance. Murder score! The Eel slithers on. Has 15 from Dick Duff. It's tied at 1. And the Rangers have as many ties as losses. That's funny. 4 minutes later. Rangers a chance. Sean Mateo. 2 minutes. There's a fight. There's a fight. Brown and Mahovlich. So that's big for the Rangers. They took out the Leafs' threat. Arnie Brown taking too many penalties. The Leafs penalty is Douglas for 2. The hail. As for the skier, Papa power play goal. Lou Ngati, his former future Hawk from Nevin and Gilbert. And that's it. The Rangers are up 2-1. Three minutes later. Seems like a hit. 3 minutes later. Ronnie Ellis from the Big M from the Hoblet. Ronnie Ellis. Lovely. Frank Mahovlich. Nope. Action Raider skier. The Eel with his 16th. He slithers in another one from Celia Gilbert. This game could be a tie. Leafs chance Ellis. Oh. It is a tie. The Leafs can't believe it. They tie the lowly Rangers. I can't believe it. Playing Bauer with a tie. Toronto goals by Mahovlich, McKinney, and Ellis. Rangers goals by Camille with 2 goals and then Gotti with 1. Yeah, Arnie Brown got 9 minutes in penalties. So yeah, clean third period, but the Leafs just could not believe it. They tie the Rangers. Sunday night, they'll head to Detroit to face the Rangers. I mean the Wings. They only have 3 losses. Well, remember, regular season overtime was not a thing. Chicago, Boston, tie. Holland, Johnston. Boston goes by Tommy Williams, Ed Westfall, and Johnny Busick. Chicago goes by Chico Mackey, Peter Pila, and Kent Morum. Montreal Rangers. And Montreal crushed the Rangers 4-1. Paille playing in net, but the Rangers just couldn't do anything. Ingeveld scored, but Ferguson, Belleville, Ferguson again, and Claude LaRose. So the Habs are looking pretty good with the goal scoring. Toronto goes to Detroit, and it will be Mr. Sawchuk in that. It will be Sawchuk in the net. So the Leafs are looking for something after that tie. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Hello. Anyway, the Red Wings, Normie Ullman, Gordie Howe, Alex Delvecchio, Bruce McGregor, Delvecchio part of the production line with Howe, Ron Murphy, Floyd Smith, the future Leafs GM, Ted Lindsay, Parker McDonald, Eddie Joyal, Paul Henderson, yes, that Paul Henderson, who was a hero for Canada in the 72 Series, Pitt Martin, future Blackhawk, Doug Barkley, Gary Bergman. Barkley, I think, was a coach GM for the Red Wings. Gary Bergman, Larry Jeffrey, not my legal first name because it's Iroquois. Val Fontaine, Mr. Clean, who went through like 4 years without a penalty. Lowell McDonald, Marcel Pronevo, Al Langlois, the guy who gave the puck to Bob Bond, who scored the winning goal in Game 6. Pete Gogan, Bill Gadsby, veteran, John McMillan, Andre Provo, Warren Godfrey, Bob Dillabow. Two minutes into the game. Hits. 1 minute. Paul Henderson, no. 4 minutes later. Both with a hit. Oof. Murphy from Joyal and Barkley. I knew I would say that. The Red Wings. 4 minutes later. Normie Ullman. No. 2 minutes later. Action in a split. What does that mean? I don't know, Mom. Justin Papan, his fifth from Mahovlich and Red Kelly, who comes back to Detroit to try to haunt his former club. And we have a tie game at 1. After 20 minutes. 3 minutes later. Papan with the retaliatory play. That's going to cost him. McGregor? No. Segment killed. Much later. There's a good chance. Parker McDonald. No. Parker McDonald did not score. E-I-E-I-O. The hit and the 2 first. And Ullman. Keon is a jail. So royal. Score from Gordy. Makes it 2-1 Red Wings. There's a chance, Dead Carey. Oh. Leafs are down 3-1 headed to the third period. 3 minutes later. Red Wings. Ullman. Oh. There's a chance, Lindsay. Oh. 5 minutes later. Another chance for Al Langlois. Second from Cornerstone Parker. Now 4-1 Red Wings. It looks like this game's practically over. Eddie Shack scores! Clear the track. Here comes Shack. I don't know what the rest of the song is. From the Big M and Bathgate. Eddie Shack. It is rolling 4-2. Red Wings, Langlois, try for a second of the night. Nothing happening. And this game is over, and the Red Wings win 4-2. Once again, winning a game. They've only lost 3 times. That's weird. But anyway, yeah, Langlois and Shack. Goals scored in the third period. Leafs goals by Papan and Shack. Murphy, Joyal, Howe, and Langlois for the Wings. And the Leafs suck. No Monday or Tuesday games. Wednesday, Rangers play in Montreal. And Montreal wins on the 23rd 4-1 as Paille loses to Worsley. Only Ranger goal was Gilbert, his 15th. But Montreal goes by Roberts, LaRose, Provo, and then Provo again, because why not? On the Thursday, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, they played on Christmas Day. Rangers Boston. Rangers win 5-4, so they're trying. Well, the battle for fifth place. Rangers 5-4. Paille beats Johnston. Rangers goals by the Eel. Henry his 17th. Harry Halfile puts one in. Hadfield has 11. Eel his 18th, and Sean Martella his 6th. Camille Henry. Anyway, Boston. Forbes Kennedy his 3rd. Bobby Nibs his 4th. Wayne Maxner his 5th, and Johnny the Chief Busick his 9th. Toronto at Chicago on Christmas Day. They lose 2-1. Sawchuk loses to Detroit. Toronto goal by McKinney his 6th, but Nesterenko and Hay put up goals for Chicago. Toronto gotta be careful. And Detroit crushes Montreal like a great 5-1. Crozier beats Hodge. Jean Belleville scored, but Detroit scored the last 5. Pitt Martin, Norm Ullman, Paul Henderson, Ron Murphy, and Ted Lindsay. On Boxing Day, everyone plays Detroit at Montreal. Well, it's a return. It's a home and home because Detroit played Montreal in Detroit. Rangers played in Boston and Toronto played in Chicago. So back to back. We're almost at the 20-minute mark. So I'm going to give you some credence. Detroit beats Montreal 5-3. Crozier beats Worsley. Montreal goes by Provo, Belleville, and Chambly. Detroit goes by Delvecchio, Lindsay, Joyal, McGregor, and Jeffrey. Boston Rangers. It was the Rangers winning 3-1. As Paille took down Norris, the Rangers keep trying to get out of the basement. Boston goal by Murray Oliver, but Marshall, Inglefield, and Coyette put up goals for the Rangers. And Toronto ties Chicago 3-3. DeShorty and Bauer go toe-to-toe. Toronto goals by Pulford, Stewart, and Ron Ellis is 19th. Moans, Espo, and Al McNeil. The late Al McNeil with a goal. With the net empty. Yeah, Boston, Chicago. They have to play 3 games in 3 days. That doesn't fly in this NHL. Boston, Chicago. Chicago crushes it 5-2 as Norris gets beaten by DeShorty. Boston goes by Prentice and Ronnie Schock, who would do better as a blue. Chicago goes by Warham, Espo, Robinson, Makita, and Billy Hay. Rangers Detroit sees a 2-2 tie as Crozier ties Paille, but the Rangers held Detroit to a tie. Rangers were up 2-1 and goals by Hatfield and DeEl Henry, but McGregor and Joyal. Well, Joyal in with the empty net 2-2 tie. So the 29th is Chicago Rangers. And Chicago beat the Rangers 4-1. The Rangers were trying. Rangers were trying to catch 4th place. They were only 1 point back. Well, Detroit beats Paille, so the Rangers with Roger Bear, but they couldn't do it. Mackey, Espo, Warham. 4-1. Wednesday the 30th will be the next game. With that, yeah, Chicago's trying. Toronto's dropped to 3rd place as Montreal has put up some numbers to catch Detroit. Well, Detroit's at 44, Montreal 37, Toronto 34, Chicago 30. Rangers 27, Boston's bottom 18. Sawchuk and Bauer still have the 3rd and 4th best goals against, but Crozier and Worsley are proving their plot. Yeah, Jack Norris has not won a game for Boston, yet he has better goals against Johnston and Chuck Plant. Well, Johnston. Yeah, a pair of 19 goal scorers on the heel and Ron Ellis are doing their stuff. So anyway, that'll be it for this video. I'm Jeff Diamond Adu.